We've talked a lot about flat fees and how challenging they are to come up with at the beginning of a project when you first meet people. And I have said before that I do have a starting base rate, but I will adjust it based on a couple of variations. So I want to go through those variations with you now and get you thinking about it. The first one is multiple rooms or duplicated tasks. The second variation is project difficulty, and the third variation is project variations. Let's look at each of these points in turn. Beware of the false assumption that all square footage is created equally. That isn't the case. If you have one large living room that's 500 square feet, that's going to be X amount of work. If you have two rooms, let's say a family room and a mud room, and it's only 315 square feet, it's going to be a lot more work than that one larger living room. So make sure as you're considering your flat fees that you're aware of the fact that all square footage is not created equally. In addition to duplications that occur because you have multiple rooms, you also want to think about project difficulty. So for example, if you have done projects in a condominium, you know there's a lot of extra work that happens. You've got to deal with the concierge or the building committee, scheduling elevators, there are parking restrictions, there are time of work restrictions. You have to pass through everybody's scrutiny in terms of the insurance for the trades and the workman's compensation. So many extra difficulties to contend with if you have a crew that's working in a dense urban area in a downtown condominium high-rise. So there's a factor where my base rate would actually go up even though the condominium project was small in terms of square footage. The last factor that may impact how you structure your flat fee proposal has to do with project variations. What if the clients are doing their living room, but instead of gutting the living room and doing the whole thing top to bottom, they're only changing a chair, a sofa, the draperies, and an area carpet? Suddenly, you wouldn't actually use your base rate to price that project because you're not doing as much of that project. The danger here, though, is pricing too low. Remember, even a tiny project is never an easy project. So make sure you start by thinking about your base rate and then adjust it if you need to, but don't overcompensate for those smaller spaces.